Okay, you want to own a Louis Vuitton brand franchise. Maybe you've imagined opening a beautiful store on a luxury shopping street. You picture customers walking in, spending thousands of dollars on handbags, wallets, and luggage. You imagine the brand doing all the hard work while you collect the profits. It sounds like one of the best businesses in the world. And if you asked 100 people which luxury brand they would want to franchise, Louis Vuitton would probably be at the top of the list. There's just one problem. You can't buy one. Not if you're worth $1 million. Not if you're worth $1 billion. Not even if you already own hundreds of luxury stores around the world, because Louis Vuitton doesn't sell franchises. It never has. And that's exactly what makes the business so valuable. So here's the real question. If almost every successful retail brand eventually expands through franchising, why does Louis Vuitton refuse to do it? Why would a company turn down billions of dollars from investors who are ready to build stores at their own expense? At first, that decision sounds crazy. Franchising is supposed to be the fastest way to grow. Someone else pays for the building, someone else hires the employees, someone else takes most of the financial risk. The brand simply collects fees and royalties. That's the formula companies across countless industries have used for decades. Fast food chains use it, hotel brands use it, fitness brands use it, retail brands use it. So why not Louis Vuitton? The answer has almost nothing to do with fashion and almost everything to do with economics. Because Louis Vuitton isn't trying to sell as many bags as possible. It's trying to protect something far more valuable than today's sales: scarcity. Most businesses wake up every morning asking one question: how can we sell to more people? Louis Vuitton asks a completely different question: how can we make more people want something they can't easily have? That tiny difference changes everything. Imagine two luxury stores sitting across a street from each other. One opens a new location every few months, the other opens only when it believes the location is perfect. One offers discounts during slow seasons, the other almost never discounts anything. One floods the market, the other carefully controls supply. Which one feels more exclusive? That's the business Louis Vuitton has spent generations building. And exclusivity doesn't happen by accident. It's engineered. The moment a brand gives someone else control over its customer experience, it also gives away part of its reputation. That's the hidden cost of franchising. A franchise owner wants to maximize profit. The brand wants to maximize prestige. Those two goals don't always point in the same direction. Imagine a franchise owner trying to reduce labor costs. Maybe they hire fewer employees. Maybe customer service slows down. Maybe the store isn't maintained as carefully. Maybe staff aren't trained to the same standard. None of those decisions save the Louis Vuitton name. They simply make one individual store more profitable. But every customer blames the brand, not the franchise owner. Luxury brands understand something most businesses learn the hard way. Trust takes years to build. It can disappear in a single visit. That's why Louis Vuitton keeps control over nearly every part of the customer experience, from the lighting to the music to the packaging, to how employees greet customers, to how products are displayed, to how repairs are handled after the sale. Almost nothing is left to chance, because the company isn't just selling leather, it's selling confidence, it's selling identity, it's selling status. And those things are much harder to protect than a handbag. That's where the economics become fascinating. A regular retailer measures success by how many units it sells. Luxury brands often measure success by how much demand remains unsatisfied. Think about that for a second. Most businesses hate hearing customers say, "It's sold out." Louis Vuitton often benefits from it because scarcity creates anticipation. Anticipation creates desire, and desire allows the company to maintain pricing power year after year. That's why you rarely see giant clearance sales outside a Louis Vuitton store. The company would rather protect the brand than chase short-term revenue. And that's one reason investors can't simply buy into the system through franchising. Control is worth more than expansion. The surprising part is that this strategy doesn't slow the company down nearly as much as people think. Instead, it helps every new store generate extraordinary sales. Because when customers walk into a Louis Vuitton boutique, they're already convinced they're entering something special. That feeling didn't appear overnight. It was built through decades of disciplined decisions. Decisions that meant saying no to opportunities other companies would eagerly accept. And sometimes saying no turns out to be the most profitable business decision of all. Think about the last time you walked past a Louis Vuitton store. You probably noticed something unusual. There were no giant sale signs, no buy one, get one free banners, no weekend clearance event, no desperate attempt to pull customers inside. That's because Louis Vuitton never wants people wondering if they should wait for a better price. The price you see today is expected to hold its value tomorrow. That simple idea changes how customers think. Instead of asking, "Should I wait?" they start asking, "Can I get it before it's gone?" That shift is incredibly powerful. Most businesses compete by lowering prices. Louis Vuitton competes by protecting them. But protecting protecting prices only works if customers believe the brand is worth paying for. That belief doesn't come from advertising alone. It comes from consistency. Whether you walk into a Louis Vuitton store in New York, Paris, Tokyo, or Dubai, the experience feels remarkably similar. The same attention to detail, the same product presentation, the same service standards. That consistency would be much harder to guarantee if thousands of independent franchise owners were making their own decisions. One poor experience in a single location could spread across social media in hours. Luxury brands don't fear slow growth. They fear losing trust. And trust is far more expensive to rebuild than a new store is to open. There's another reason the company keeps ownership in its own hands: data. Every customer interaction tells a story. What products people buy, what colors they prefer, how often they return, which collections attract new customers, which products sell out first. That information helps the company make smarter decisions every season. If stores were independently owned, much of that insight would become fragmented. Instead of one complete picture, the company would see hundreds of different pieces. Owning every boutique keeps the information flowing back to one place. And in today's business world, information is often just as valuable as inventory. Now let's talk about something almost nobody notices. A Louis Vuitton store isn't designed to sell as many products as possible. It's designed to strengthen the entire brand. Sometimes a customer walks in, looks around, buys nothing, and still leaves with a stronger impression of the company. That experience might lead them to make their first purchase months later or years later. Luxury businesses understand that not every visit has to end with a sale. Sometimes the experience itself is the investment. That's very different from traditional retail. A discount store measures success by today's receipts. Louis Vuitton often measures success by a relationship that lasts decades. And those relationships are incredibly valuable. A loyal customer doesn't buy just one handbag. They might buy luggage, shoes, accessories, jewelry, ready-to-wear collections, even gifts for family members. One satisfied customer can generate hundreds of thousands of dollars over a lifetime. When viewed that way, protecting the relationship becomes more important than maximizing today's profit. That's why every hiring decision matters. Every repair matters. Every conversation matters. Every detail becomes part of the brand itself. Now imagine if those decisions were controlled by hundreds of different franchise owners. Some would be excellent. Others wouldn't. Eventually, customers would stop knowing what to expect, and uncertainty is the enemy of luxury. There's another hidden advantage to refusing franchises. When Louis Vuitton decides to renovate a boutique, launch a new collection, or redesign the customer experience, it doesn't need permission from hundreds of business owners. The company simply makes the decision. Every store moves together. That speed creates consistency, and consistency protects value. Ironically, growing more slowly has helped Louis Vuitton become one of the fastest growing luxury brands in the world, because every new location is chosen carefully. Every investment supports the brand. Every decision is made with decades in mind instead of next quarter. That's not how most businesses operate, but that's exactly why Louis Vuitton isn't most businesses. The biggest lesson has nothing to do with handbags. It has everything to do with business strategy. Many entrepreneurs believe growth solves every problem. Sometimes it creates new ones. Growing too fast can weaken quality. Too many locations can reduce exclusivity. Too many products can confuse customers. Too many shortcuts can slowly destroy a reputation that took generations to build. Louis Vuitton understood something many companies discover only after making costly mistakes. Not every opportunity should be accepted. Some opportunities should be rejected, even when they promise billions of dollars, because protecting a great brand is often more profitable than expanding a good one. So if you came into this video wondering how much it costs to own a Louis Vuitton franchise, the answer is surprisingly simple. No amount of money can buy one, because the company was never selling stores. It was protecting something far more valuable: its name. And in today's economy, that name may be one of the most valuable assets on the planet. The next time you walk past a Louis Vuitton boutique, don't just look at the handbags. Look at the business hiding behind them, because the leather isn't the real product. The logo isn't the real product. Even the store isn't the real product. The real product is trust, and that's something the company refuses to franchise. If you enjoyed this video and want to discover the hidden economics behind the world's biggest companies and luxury brands, make sure you subscribe, because once you understand how these businesses really make their money, you'll never look at them the same way again.